All right, earlier this month during Biden's State of the Union, Gold Star father Steve Nikoui, whose son was killed during Biden's disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal at Karzai International Airport, was inexplicably arrested after briefly interrupting Biden's State of the Union with a message, a simple one, but a profound one. Take a look.
Year before I took office, murder rates went up 30%. 30% they went up. The biggest increase in history. It was then, through my American Rescue Plan.
Now, Mr. Nikoui was arrested, charged with misdemeanor disturbance of a public peace, a charge that carries up to 90 days in jail. Thankfully, finally, this week, it should have happened immediately, the authorities in D.C. have come to their senses, and the D.C. Attorney General finally dropped the charges. Steve Nikoui is back with us for an exclusive reaction on this, and Congressman Issa, who's been very helpful in this as well. Mr. Nikoui, I'm sorry it took so long. As I said before, it should have happened immediately, knowing what you've gone through. I'm sure you're relieved, to say the least.
Yeah, thank you, Sean, for having us. I am really relieved. It was a lot of pressure. I was scared, but I was ready to do whatever I had to do, for my actions. But I want to thank, Congressman Issa, who from that night, said, I'm not gonna leave you alone. We're gonna take care of you, and he did it. And so did Congressman Waltz and my friend Brian Mast and Mills, and I appreciate that, and I'm in awe of them because of that. I was scared, and they never left me.
Yeah, well, I'm glad for you, and Congressman Issa, I've known you for a long time, and I know when you commit to something, you do. Why was this even a thought? I mean, once they realized that he was only talking about Abby's Gate and his son, who never should have lost his life because of Biden's, bungled withdrawal, he has every right to say his son's name and remind the president, I'm sorry, but he never should have gotten charged in the first place.
Well, you're exactly right, Sean. Past, there have been interruptions that, quite frankly, were more deliberate and with less justification, and they were not charged. And that's something that Congressman Ken Calvert and Mike Walsh and Brian Mast and all of us kept making the point of, finally writing official letters and pushing hard with the Sergeant-at-Arms. And with the help of the Sergeant-at-Arms, we were able to convince the D.C. Attorney General that this was inappropriate and that ultimately the House was not interrupted in any significant or unusual way.
Yeah. Look, Mr. Nikoui, let me ask you this. I understand, and I saw testimony, people like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Milley, that you have had contact with him. My understanding is the military did not support the operation being done this way, that they had very different plans for a peaceful withdrawal that would have gotten not only every American out, but all of the allies that helped us the many years our troops were there, and would have gotten our military equipment out, and instead of leaving billions of dollars of equipment in the hands of the Taliban. How did that meeting go with General Milley?
Yeah, Sean. So earlier this week, we did have an opportunity, some of the Abbey Gate families, as well as myself, which represents a larger coalition of the families, had an opportunity to sit down with him in a round table. I found him to be empathetic and understanding to our cause surrounding our children's death. And I respected the fact that, he was able to look us in the eyes as we were able to tell him some pretty disheartening information about our family, and he was committed to, helping us get the facts and the answers that we need. But Sean, let me make sure that everyone understands. We're going to make sure that he is held accountable to what he's promised us, and that his promises are upheld, and that we can get the answers that we need to get from this administration concerning this disastrous withdrawal.
Yeah. Mr. Nikoui, I know words don't really offer a lot of comfort for people like you or people like Laken Riley's family when something like that happens. But your son was a hero. This never should have happened. I don't believe if Donald Trump was president, he would have allowed the Taliban to march all the way up to Karzai Airport and then have a hasty withdrawal like that. But our prayers are with you and your family. And Congressman Issa, thank you for all you did here and all your fellow congressmen that got involved. We appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.